If the Lord told you that he was going to give you a job that you didn't have to apply for, would you believe him? Give us a word and we like, it's not moving fast enough, so I'm going to make it move myself. Okay? So I was trying to make it move on my own. What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Devo, Debrief with Des. Did y'all miss me? Because I missed y'all. This episode will be a little bit different. I don't know, it's really a devotional debrief. It's not. It's more so a testimony of what the Lord has done. If the Lord told you that he was going to give you a job that you didn't have to apply for, would you believe him? Would you believe him? I can hear your thoughts telling me no. Because I had the same thought too when he told me that. He told me that on September, I'm going to put the picture of my notes. I'm going to put it in the screen. He told me that in September of 2024, that I would get a job that I would not have to apply for. If you are new here and you have not been a part of my husband and I's podcast, Journey to the Hills, there is an episode where I talk about the Lord asking me to close my business. I closed my business that the Lord told me to open 4 years ago in August of last year. And I was so scared. I was so terrified. I didn't understand why. 7 months later, I do understand the why. I understand what he needed me to do, what he needed to undo, what he needed me to lay down, all the things. But today, I want to tell you that he did exactly what he said that he was going to do and give me a job that I didn't have to apply for. So yes, in September, I'm sure I was in my prayer time. And one thing that I will encourage anyone to do, that while you're in your prayer time and when you make space for the Lord to speak to you, write down what he says. Write down what you hear so that you can go back to it. You can also, this is helping you to build equity with the Lord. Like, okay, he told me in September that I would get a job that I didn't have to apply to. When I heard that, I'm like, Mister, what? Like, how? Because to me, if you're on TikTok, to me, I did not think that that was possible. I had never received a job just through that I didn't have to apply for. When I was a business owner, of course, I got clients kind of like through word of mouth, but I don't know why I put a ceiling on that happening in the corporate world. Oh, ye of little faith, basically. And so the Lord told me that, and then there was an opportunity that came like right after that through one of my previous clients that I thought, I'm like, okay, boom, this must be it. And we met a couple times. It was like such a big brand that I would have had an opportunity with, that I'm like, God, this must have been the thing, because it's so huge, it's so magnanimous. Like, if I could say I work for this brand, I mean, boom, like that would be amazing. But now that I'm even speaking this out loud, I would have wanted the opportunity because of the name of the company, not solely because of the Lord directed me to that place, like more so because of the attachment, which goes back to me learning about my identity not being outward, but it's really inward, and knowing who God created me to be. Anywho, that's another story for another day, but we're staying on track. So a little bit in September, I get a call from my previous client. She has this big client. She's like, they need somebody. I think you'll be great for the role. I'm like, cool, this is it. It would have been remote. They weren't able to pay nowhere near what I thought the role would get. And eventually it fell through. Totally understood that, but also I was a little bit mad at God, like, bro, you said you were going to give me a job that you said I didn't have to apply for, and this looks like it was it, but it didn't fall through. Again, that's on me, because he never said it was that job, but I put my expectation in the opportunity and not my expectation in God. So time goes on. I start applying for jobs, which, again, don't laugh at me or don't look at me sideways, because we all have done that. God gave us a word and we like, it's not moving fast enough, so I'm going to make it move myself. Okay? So I was trying to make it move on my own. But in between that time, the Lord also directed me to go. My husband is a principal. He directed me to go to the school 3 to 4 times a week. I was going to the school 3 to 4 times a week. At the beginning, I'm like, Lord, why am I going to the school? Why am I going to the school? Like, why am I going? But he's like, that is serving ground. That's serving ground. And at first, my heart was not in a proper place to even like really serve. I wasn't looking at it in the proper perspective. And it took the Lord continuing to ring me my heart to say, you're not too good to be doing anything. Wherever I put you, wherever I place you, that's where you will use your gifts, skills, and your talents. Wherever I want you to be is where your purpose is supposed to happen. And I think in this time period of my life, these last 7 months, it really taught me that my purpose is not a place. My purpose is what I do whenever I'm in the proper place that the Lord will have me. My purpose has to do with, am I operating in and how God wants me to do in this current season of my life? Because I think that in each season of your life, what you're doing and what God has you doing is different. But if no matter what or no matter where, are you doing what the Lord called you to do wherever He placed you? And this season of my life taught me that it doesn't matter what it looks like. Nothing is too good for me. Any opportunity that I have, that the Lord sends me, that I get to use the gifts, skills, and talents that He gave me, I'm in His purpose. I'm in His will. I'm in His alignment. I'm good. Am I being obedient? Yes. And that's what matters. So I think I learned in this moment, in this last 7 months, that it doesn't have to be bright, shiny lights. It doesn't have to be a company that is like so world renowned. It doesn't matter because, one, my value doesn't come from where I work. It comes from who I work for. Who I work for, and I work for God. I work for God no matter where I'm at. And as He began to rid my thought process of what will people think or what do people say about I don't have a job or I volunteer at a school, He's like, you're doing work that I told you to do, and that is what should matter. And so He began to work through my process with that. But even while I was at the school, I was able to truly make some great impact in the administrative area. I was able to push some things forward that they weren't able to get done prior to me being there. I was able to move the ball. I was able to help where there was a vacancy. So there was a purpose for me being there, and I thank the Lord for allowing me to be there and for Him to use that time to strip me of any status quo things that I would feel like will make me who I am versus knowing that I am who I am no matter what I'm doing. And so at that time, I learned a lot about being in the school, how schools operate. I learned a lot from my husband. I learned even what more is on his plate as he's at work. I was able to build connections and relationships with young ladies that I feel like I'll be able to foster even a deeper relationship with God with because of my time there. And as I was going on, I felt like the Lord was showing me, like, this is serving ground. This is serving ground. I remember even a time where I feel like there was a moment where they were like, I want to pay you. And I'm like, the Lord told me that this is serving ground. And so there did come opportunities and times where they blessed me financially, even though it wasn't, salary, which it wasn't supposed to be. But they still blessed me in pockets with nice amounts of finances, and I'm very grateful to them for that and for the Lord. For me, it was like, I see you, I see your heart changing, I see your heart posture. Here you are. This is a seed to keep you going. And so even while I was matriculating and waiting for the Lord to open up the door, which He has opened, He was showing me so much about myself, what needed to be unearthed, uprooted, perspectives that needed to be changed, and He used that time. So again, September, I started going to the school about 3 to 4 days a week. And He began to show me that my purpose is wherever He wants me to be in the season that I'm in. And I know that for me, I know that my purpose is the gifts of helps. I know 100%. I come into a place and I can make it better than what it was when I got there. I know that for certain. I have an eye for excellence. I know those things. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm doing that, I'm in purpose. And so I was able to do that at the school. And, I started to get a little antsy, so then I'm applying for jobs. And maybe around December, in December, I applied for a job. And it was a job that I'm like, Lord, I love this job. If you let me have this, it'll be so amazing. Like, yes, I love this job. All the things. Like, Lord, if you give me this, then I'll never do whatever. And so I applied to the job. I'm calling my sisters for help on a resume because I haven't done a resume in over 4 years. I haven't worked in a building in 4 years because I was an entrepreneur for 4 years. So I'm like, okay, how should things look now? What is the, anything for the day and times that we're in? They're helping me out. I'm getting all the help. I get to the next step of the process, which is a test, a time test. I do the time test. I feel good about it. Boom, they email me with the unfortunately email. I get the unfortunately email. And at that moment, I was really upset and frustrated with the Lord because I'm like, bro, I have been doing what you want me to do by going to the school. I have been, still serving, still tithing, still all the things. And you didn't give me what I wanted. And again, he reminded me, what did I tell you back in September? What did I tell you back in September, bro? And I'm like, yeah, you said it, but I really don't believe you. Like, I don't think that'll happen for me. So I needed him to, one, build my faith up and take away my doubt, take away my worry. And I had to say, I want to grow in you. I want to grow my trust. It's very easy to say that you trust God, but to really live that thing, baby, is different. It's different. And so I'm like, Lord, I don't trust that you're going to give me a job that I don't have to apply for. So teach me, show me how to trust you. Show me how to trust you. I feel like I can trust you in almost every other area of my life, but with this one thing, I can't. It's hard. So I began to work with the Lord. I began to ask him to show me the way. And I want to say, like, it was like, I want to find I have my journal here. I want to find the day where I got the email about not getting the job. Okay, I got the email January 29th. My devotion, my journal says, yesterday I got the unfortunately email from the company. It was disappointing. And then I wrote down what the Lord spoke to me that day. He said that my perspective of money being the thing that fixes the problems versus him, it still hasn't changed. He wanted me to become content, to keep serving, and that he said what he said about the job, and that I need to trust him and pray for my unbelief. I wrote that all down January 29th. January 29th, okay? So then I remember I read Philippians 4, where it says, rejoice in the Lord always. Delight, take pleasure in him. Again, I will say rejoice. And I remember the note said, the joy of Christians is not based on agreeable circumstances. Instead, it is based on my relationship with God. We will face trouble in the world, but we should rejoice in the trials because we know that God is using these situations to improve our character. In that moment, the Lord is trying to improve my character. One, that my faith is not only good when things are going good, but that he's still a good guy when things are going bad or not how I want, or not agreeable. Two, he's improving my character because he's stretching my faith. He's teaching me that my faith is not where it should be. And so this time that he's having me wait for him to show up and do what he said he would do, my faith and my trust are being cultivated because it shouldn't be conditional. And at that time, it was conditional. And so I read Philippians 4 that day. Now we move on. January, we move on to February 10th. And I'm going to put the note here. On February 10th, I was in my prayer time. Again, Bible app, boom. But that day, in my notes from the Lord, when I hear the Lord speak to me, I put it in my notes. And he told me to begin affirming every day, saying that doors are opening on my behalf, saying that I am receiving a job that I didn't have to apply for, and that my name is in rooms that I am not even in. On February 10th, he told me to begin saying that every single day. So he told me to begin to speak what was going to happen. The Lord reminds us that our words have life, that life and death are in the power of the tongue, and that we can speak a thing and what happened. He told me on February 10th to begin to say those three things. Doors are opening on my behalf. I am receiving a job that I don't have to apply for, and that my name is in rooms that I'm not even in. February 10th. On February 17th, I have everything written down. I write everything down because I want to be able to give what God said back to myself. I also want to be able to say, hey, here's a track record. This is what the Lord did for me back in February, and I know that the next thing that comes, he's going to show up just like he showed up this time. February 17th, my husband texted me. A woman that he knows is like, hey, does Destiny still need the job? Because my director, she needs an executive assistant. Now, I had just wrote doors are opening on my behalf. My name is in rooms I'm not in on February 17th in my devotional. And then I wrote today, I got a text from Keon that so-and-so's executive director is looking for executive assistant. I wrote it down on February 17th. So I have been saying the declarations. I will receive a job that I don't have to apply for. I will receive a job that I don't have to apply for. I wrote it down 3 times that day to get it in my brain that this is going to happen for me. So boom, February 17th, that's what happened. February 27th, I get a call to say, hey, come in the office, let's have an interview. Or let's have an interview. And it was off the books. I go in, she's like, hey, so-and-so has told me so much about you. Just let me know who you are. Like, what do you do? You know, why is this role attractive to you? I just told her who I was. A woman of God. I operate in excellence, efficiency, and effectiveness. I know I have the gift of helps. I know that God has helped me to help people in the past, my clients, to be more effective and operating in their zone of genius. And my goal is to always to leave a place better than when I came in. That's what I said. She's like, you address my core values of excellence. You address the fact of someone coming in and letting me operate in my zone of genius. We never spoke before, me and this woman. That's how I know it was God ordained. So I'm like, boom, we talk. She's like, I'm going to give you a call in a week. I don't hear anything for about 2 weeks. So I'm starting to get antsy. I'm like, Lord, now, I think that this is you. I know that this is you. I think it is. But I'm getting antsy. Maybe 2 days later, hey, Destiny, I'm out of the office, but I want to offer you the job. Boom. I'm like, okay, this is really happening. She told me a salary. I'm like, I really would love to see a little bit more money. She's like, I'm not sure what they're able to do. You know, this is a federal company. You know, I don't know what they're able to do, but I'll see what I can do my best at. I come in the week after to sign an offer letter to do it, and I did a written test. She's like, you did excellent. You exceeded my expectations. Let's go to the offer letter. When we get to the offer letter, she says one number, but then when I get to the HR, they say a number that is $4,000 more than the number that we spoke about. So I'm like, hold on now. The boss said this. You're saying this. So I sign everything and I go back to the boss. I'm like, hey, they changed the number. She said, I told them to. Because you're going to bring X to the company. And I just want to say that he is a promise-keeping God. There is nothing that he doesn't want for his children. When he says it, he's going to do it. And I am a living testimony that it may sound crazy until it happens. It may be crazy until it happens. But now my faith, equity, in God, that stock, baby, is through the roof. He could tell me to do anything that's very far left, and I'm doing it. Because he did exactly what he said he would do. I did not have to apply for this job. It came to me. It fell in my lap. My name was in a room that I wasn't in. I never went to that company before. I've never been there before. But my name was in the room. My name was in the room. The door opened on my behalf. Everything he said that was going to happen, and it happened. It happened. It happened. And the Bible says that he's no respecter of person. So if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. But I want to tell you that it couldn't happen until my heart posture was in the right place. My heart posture wasn't conditional. I wasn't going to be obedient only to get. When my heart was, Father, I will serve you wherever you place me, paid or unpaid. My heart posture was, Lord, what is it that you want me to do today? My heart posture was, Lord, you want me to give to this person even though the bank account is looking slim? Okay, I'm going to do it. He could trust me, and that's when he opened the door. My heart, I needed these last 7 months. While it was the most uncomfortable, the most excruciating kind of like rebirthing transformation, it made me see God and know God in a way that I could have never ever known him before. Let this testimony encourage you. He may tell you to do the crazy thing. He will tell you to jump. He will tell you to leave. He will tell you to whatever. But my encouragement is that you would do it. And know that our job is obedience. And he will do the rest as he's done for me. I hope that you're encouraged by today's video. Leave a comment in the comments. Subscribe and share. I will see you guys next time.